you might fail, but I mean, you won't know what's going to happen unless you give it a try. There's been many friends that, I've helped during the process, people that I met at Blackberry as well, that started their business. And I'm like, man, do more, don't give up. And I mean, it's just a matter of not being scared and tackling it.
Welcome back to The Real Grind Season 2, and where we talk with the best business owners, real estate investors about business in general in real estate while we're sipping on the best cup of
coffee.
Let's go.
You know it.
I got a question. Have you ever had Guatemalan coffee before?
It's been 37 episodes. I think we had some Guatemalan coffee in there, but not straight from somebody from Guatemala.
Hey, this is strange because you know what? It's now we don't even can remember the coffees that we all had, right? And this one that we had in a previous episode, I was like, man, I haven't tried this coffee. It's so similar in taste, but they all have their very unique flavor to it.
Yeah.
So, but today we got an awesome guest who's gonna come in just a little bit. But before, let's get the show started. It's The Real Grind.
Waking up to success. Now we're getting it started. This is the real grind. Everything you've been wanting, building an empire, no question. Talking about real estate, investing, making the millions, no stopping. While we sip on, go and make coffee. The real grind. This is the real grind. Let's go.
He was born in Guatemala City, have been in the US since he was 2 years old, left his career of 10 years in IT to follow his passion of homes renovation and construction. He's the founder and CEO of VIP Construction. Welcome on the stage, Jorge Veliz. Let's go. What up, my man? Welcome, brother. Come in. I heard a lot about you through Italo, and man, it's a big fan of yours.
Good stuff or bad stuff?
Yeah. With Italo, you can never trust Italo, man. The same thing, he's talking good. Sometimes he beats up as well.
There you go.
But brother, share a little bit about your beginnings, man. You're obviously from Guatemala. We're, kind of Latinos, us and you. So talk a little bit your beginnings here. And
Well, I was born in Guatemala. My parents migrated here when I was 2 years old.
All right.
I was mostly raised in New Jersey. And then we moved out here in like 97. Growing up, I always saw my uncles, my dads doing like renovations and things like that. Going through school, it was hard for me to find a job that would work with my school schedule. So I got hired by a company to supervise their remodeling portion of it. And I was going to school for computer engineering. And then I landed in IT, did that, but always had my business kind of on the side. Money wasn't ever enough. And, all the partying that you got to do, you got to have extra money. So being in IT, I always did jobs on the weekends, got tired of like the politics in corporate world. So worked at a company and they started laying off people. And that's when I decided to start bringing up my business and, taking time off from work and doing, my remodeling. And that way I had that steady income, and then it just blew from there.
Right. But when you were a kid and growing up, you said your dad used to do...
Yeah, my dad always did this stuff like around the house, like repairs and things. So I always, found it interesting. I like to take things apart, not always being able to put them back together, but I tried.
And if you like, the rule of thumb is if you take something apart, if 2 screws are left, that's okay.
Exactly.
It cannot be 5 or more, right?
The more screws you have left over, the best. Yes, sir.
Don't know if it works, man. And trust me, I follow to that all the time. And so on the construction side, when you start so when you start professionally, was after you left your corporate world?
I was doing it already while I was in the IT world, we can say. Because I would notice that people were going to get laid off and things like that. So I would take days off sometimes saying I was going on vacation, but I was actually doing side jobs or, and I created so many customers I met through being realtors and things like that. They had trust in me. So there was at times that I was at work, but I was answering text message, phone calls with my guys calling me, hey, we're having this issue here. So it's like, all right, give me a second. I'm about to go to lunch and I'll see what I can do. So I always had the business on the side.
So ultimately you were doing IT construction
Yes.
and IT and technology, man.
Pretty
That's
much.
hilarious.
That's how it was. I always, wanted to do something for myself.
Right. 100%.
And then working IT wasn't, I noticed that I can make more money in the construction world sometimes working 2-3 days compared to working 5 days a week and, receiving orders from people. And then I met my wife. You know, she got pregnant, and that's when I was like, okay, things got real now. Like, you know, I need something steady. So I did take a couple months off when I got laid off from my last job, and that's when I kind of just said, okay, this is my time to shine.
And the transition when you were like that, like already doing the side, and you kind of, you know, scale and you kind of transition is a lot easier than you just quit one and start something from scratch, especially for entrepreneurs in construction. To start a construction company from scratch, if you don't have nothing lined up, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, even then it was a little bit scary, I would say.
Right.
You know, working for a company, you know, you're going to get paid no matter what. And, you know, and you start learning as you have your business that there's times that customers don't want to pay, or, you know, they tell you they didn't like it. Like recently I had an issue with PayPal where they took the customer side saying I never finished the work, but I love taking pictures of all those jobs that I do. And I was like, hey, here's text messages and everything. The customer's telling me, great job, you completed the work. And now you're saying I didn't complete it. Here's everything. Got my money in the end, but I mean, it's just things that, you know, working for someone, you'll have your deposit, direct deposit, whatever, you know, with no worries. So definitely there's some scares.
On the beginning, George, like for the entrepreneur, and I love this topic, by the way, dude. I love talking to people that started businesses and make it to successes. But in the beginning, it's kind of tough, especially when you one-man show, because a lot of people don't tell you that to be an entrepreneur, now you got to wear multiple hats, not just amazing what you do. Let's say you're great in construction, but invoicing, receiving payments and stuff like that. So how'd you figure all this out?
At first, I mean, it was kind of hard. I mean, people that work for you, a lot of times they don't see the back end of everything. Like
Right.
I had guys saying, oh, you know, you're not here at the job site. You're probably home watching a soccer game or, you know, just hanging out. I'm like, look, guys, there's times when you guys are asleep. I'm up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, sending out bids, sending out invoicing, making sure this gets paid. I was like, I used to think about this way. You guys get your check no matter what, you know, but you don't see what goes on in the back row. So even still to this point, 10 years after, my wife always tells me, you need to learn how to stop, because being in your own business, you're working Monday through Sunday, pretty much 24/7. Like yesterday, my daughter was doing homework and I'm sitting there at the table with her on my laptop, sending invoices, sending bids and things like that. So, I mean, I don't think I've been able to learn yet on how to, you know, prioritize everything, because there's still times that I'm working 24/7.
Right. And that's what the entrepreneur's life, man. And the people, especially that like that, it's a perfect example. They don't understand, but you got the last call, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they say that the best thing you can do is own your own house or own your own business, but you don't know the stress that comes with it until, you know, you have it.
Yeah, 100%. I read this book called The E-Myth. I don't know if you had a chance to read it, but the first chapter, dude, is just convincing you not to open your own business because it's tough, right? But those that survived, like us, right? We survived and now we're doing it and it's great. This is our life. But for somebody, sometimes that is not the best fit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I've met a lot of people, you know, they've always told me the rule of thumb is if you make it past your first 5 years, you know, you got it made. And honestly, the first 5 years was, I would say, the toughest. Like you hit challenges that you don't expect and things like that. So, I mean, thankfully, you know, this is my 10th year now.
Right. That's amazing, dude. And I love to discover more about your business, what you do, what kind of services that you do, and, you know, the scalability part. But have you had coffee from Guatemala? It's a stupid question, but
I have.
All right.
And they say it's one of the best ones.
Let's see. But today, guess what time it is, man?
Coffee time.
Coffee time. Let's go.
Dude, so good to see you here.
Likewise.
So, little backstory. When I moved to Texan in 2010, I worked for Blackberry, and that's how I met George. We used to work together, but we definitely did the mix of work hard, play hard, because I'll be hanging out with him like throughout the day. We'd just be shooting the shit in there, just causing trouble, but fixing issues, you know. He was a great mentor for me when I worked there, when I was learning the server side of things. So, truly appreciative of you, and seeing where you are nowadays, it really makes me proud of you, man.
Appreciate that.
I definitely see the hard work in there. But let's talk about coffee right now. Yeah.
He claims to be the best coffee country in the world. And
that's like Argentinian soccer versus Brazilian soccer. Now it's Guatemalan coffee versus Brazilian coffee. But here I have some other contenders on this one here. So this one is from a website called Trade. So we got subscriptions from them. So they send some good stuff to us. And this one has 33% Brazilian coffee, 33% Honduras coffee. There you go. So we're representing, and 33% from Peru. It's a blend that I never seen before.
Me neither.
But
I can't wait to try.
let's check this out. So have you had specialty coffee? I know you've had coffee, but do you understand the dynamics of like the specialty ones?
Yeah, I
A
have.
good IT guy it's a coffee drinker.
We drank a lot of coffee at Blackberry. For trainings, we've had trainings for 9 hours a day sometimes, like for a whole week.
But the question is, was it good coffee?
If you snuck into the office where all the corporate people was, and Mikey had access to it.
I wasn't on that pay grade, so I had the burnt coffee, you know? But it's funny because at that time, so when me and George worked at Blackberry, there was some guys in there that they were called DART, right?
Yep.
And they're a bunch of military guys. And I didn't like coffee back then because it was bad coffee. And one guy told me, drink mint tea. That's going to wake you up. That's what we drink at the Army because that doesn't give you the shivers, that the caffeine doesn't affect you. So I'll be drinking a lot of like mint tea to wake me up. Didn't work out. So I stopped.
Smells good.
I know. So give it a good smell. Let's try this out. What'd you taste on that?
It's good. I mean, definitely different. Nothing, store bought, we can say. So yeah. I bet.
Do your workers drink a lot of coffee at the job site?
I have a Cuban guy right now that he has to drink his coffee in the morning, lunchtime, and about 3:00. He's like, he needs another coffee.
Does he bring a little mug or
he'll just go to this gas station.
gas station.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if he makes like the cortaditos and stuff.
My wife actually makes that for them whenever they come to the house. So usually about 2:00, they're expecting their little coffee, their
Right.
cortadito. So that definitely wakes you up.
That thing that is a punch of sugar in your face.
Oh yeah.
But I kind of like it.
Oh yeah.
I like
It's
it.
definitely good.
Yeah, definitely. Dude, I definitely want to hear more of your story from that perspective in there because Neander doesn't really know you. I mean, we've gotten into troubles at work before. We didn't get fired. I got laid off before he did. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, but
Did you get a chance to say goodbye? Did they just block you
no,
out? Oh, no.
they just took me down. I was like, hi, George, from the window. He was like watching there. But yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's crazy.
That's a story for another time. But dude, thanks for sharing a cup of
If
coffee
you want
with
to learn
us.
about Monter's story, go to Netflix and you can watch the Blackberry.
That's so
Right?
true. Did you watch the movie?
No, I have not.
Watch the movie. I watched the movie. I was like, I remember this. I remember this. I
Really?
remember that. Yeah, it's because we lived the great times of Blackberry.
Yeah.
As a business owner, like you know,
100%.
we saw the rise in the fall of Blackberry. I mean, I got out before the fall, but you were there
I was there
a
too.
little longer.
Yeah.
But it was so sad to see a building that size, a company that size, with so much potential. I love that company when I worked for them. On the hands of the wrong people, going down like that.
To the ground. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. It happens.
But this is for you, brother.
thank
Whenever you drink some of those Honduras coffee, but
Thank you.
It tastes better if you put Brazilian coffee in it. So you can take that out. I appreciate
Sounds
y'all.
good. Thank you.
I'll be right there on the corner. So if you need more coffee, just hit me
Sounds
up. brother.
good.
Welcome to Empire Living Solutions. This is a brand new business that we come out of a solution for a problem that we had. We're being struggling with buying material and goods for our apartment renovations. After 5 properties, over 750 units, we have a lot of turns. So by buying directly and forming our own brand to buy directly overseas and going to manufacturers and testing products, and after all these years, we mastered and crafted these products, and now it's available to you, syndicator, operator, property management, or even if you do flips or developing new construction, anything, we have solutions for you to save on cost of material and have a one-stop shop so you can run your properties to the max performance. George, so what did the company start? You already mentioned about that you did the transition, but what was the point? It was like, you know what, this is what I'm doing now, and what is an amount of work you had so that was sustainable. I would assume that you had to replace your income, right?
Yeah, the thing is, like I said, finding work at that time was a little bit complicated. And then, like Italo mentioned, we did work at Blackberry. They gave me a good severance package. I kind of used that money to buy a carpet cleaner, a truck mount carpet cleaner, and that's how I kind of started getting more business. Carpet cleaning, I was able to do it on my own, and people started asking me, "Can you paint? Can you do this?" And I'll be honest, at first I was like, "Yeah, I can do that," and I had no clue what I was doing. I would show up to a job site, and I had hired one guy, and I was like, "Hey, what do you know how to do?" He's like, "A little bit of everything." I was like, "Perfect, me too." So we would show up to jobs, and he always tell me, he's like, "The reason I like working for you is because even though you don't know how to do something, he's like, when you tell the customer you do, he's like, you convince me." So I remember showing up to a job, and we had to install our first patio French door, and he looked at me and he's like, "You know what you're doing?" I was like, "No, but I hope you do." And he was like, "You're kidding me." He's like, "You told them what you were." I was like, "Look, I have the basics, but I've never done it." We were able to do it, and he helped me a lot to push me. He was one of the guys that actually told me, "Hire someone else. We need you to go out and look for more jobs." Obviously working in IT, the customer service portion that I learned helped me a lot.
Be patient
and be patient, be able to talk to the customers and everything. And that's like the issue I have at home. Sometimes my wife's like, "Hey, I'm not your customer. Don't talk to me in that tone of voice. I'm not, stop trying to be nice to me." So definitely, working in IT really helped me to be able to communicate with customers and so forth. So I did the carpet cleaning for about 2 years, and, went from just having one guy on my crew to two guys. I got up to about 10 guys on crew. COVID hit. I had to downsize a little bit, but definitely the severance package that I got from the last company I worked for helped me kind of boost, the tools and things that I needed to get going and start getting jobs.
Today when you talked about that, you didn't know the job, but you just premier outstanding excellence of customer service. You care about the customers. This is, I think, what a lot of businesses are missing today, right? Even though you didn't know how to do, but just the fact that you do whatever it takes to accomplish that job, and this is what people are buying to it. It's not even and I know that you've done whatever you can to do the job, but just the commitment that you have, and that's what the sales want on it.
That's what I saw. Like I said, my wife tells me that I have to learn how to kind of stop. But there's times that a customer messages me at 10 at night, and I reply at that time, and I tell her, I was like, "Look, I remember being like, in the corporate world, sometimes you don't get home until 7 o'clock, 8 at night. You sit down for dinner, you watch TV, and then you're able to start doing your stuff." I was like, so these are those kind of people. So I have to reply. And a lot of times customers are like, you answering at 10 o'clock is what made me go with you, because you're replying at the time I can talk. Sometimes I can't talk at 3 o'clock in the afternoon like everybody else. So that's why, even till then, there's times I'm still replying to emails and midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, put my phone on do not disturb, but I get a notification. I'm like, "Oh, let me reply this very quick." So,
and what is the size of your company today? How many guys you have? And
right now I got a total of about 12 guys.
Okay.
They're not all pretty much say full-time. Some of them are part-time, because obviously, with the economy and everything, everything has changed. But we do everything from flooring, we do painting, we do full remodels. We've worked on pools, we do fencing. So I tell everybody, when they call me, "What do you do?" I was like, it's easier for me to tell you what we don't do, and it's roofing. I tried to get into roofing, but it was a little bit complicated with the insurance and everything, so I kind of pulled back. I do have a sub that I use for my roofing stuff, but pretty much we can cover it all.
Yeah, and then that's what I think about the ecosystem, right? When you have clients that trust you, like we were talking earlier, and then you just find solutions for, different contractors. They'll love to go with somebody that would trust them, that would inspect the job or get the job done. It's kind of what we've done here in our companies. Is like we develop those ecosystems, and no matter what product that we bring up to the table or somebody that they need, we'll come up with a solution. I think that's key.
Yes, I definitely agree with you there.
I had experience here that we needed to get an AC for our studio, those split systems ACs. So we do have our guys working our maintenance, and they're certified, but they're not for split systems, kind of different. So I went on Google and I type in mini split service Carrollton, right? And I got, 6, 7 phone numbers or listings in there. So I went through each one of them. One of them didn't pick up. Second one answered. He was like, sounds like you were in the middle of a chainsaw shit. Like, hello? And I was like, what the heck is this, man? Not professional. The third one kind of answered with an attitude. One of them said he was going to come here, never showed up. How fucking frustrating is to get business done, dude? And this is 101. You know what I'm saying? Either they're so busy that they don't have time to do clients. Because I'm a business owner too, but that would drive me crazy to know that I'm trying legitimate for a commercial, right? I will pay whatever I was ready to hire and I can find a contract. What do you have to say about that?
I'll tell you that I kind of lived something very similar not too long ago. We moved out to Whitesboro with my family, and there was things that obviously we can get done, but like I told my wife, if I come and do this, we're not going to make money. So I try to hire contractors, and I ran into the same issue where, they weren't calling back, or they would tell me they were going to show up, or they did show up to do the work, but the quality wasn't there. Yeah. So what I try to do is, there's times I can't answer the phone, but if someone's calling me, I'll at least reply with, currently with a customer, I'll call you back, or send me a text message or things like that. I'm not going to say I've never forgotten, because I would be lying. There's times that, I forget, but it's just one of those things that I guess working in the IT world and, and all my jobs had to do with customer service. My first job was at Domino's Pizza. So it was customer service, so I think that's what has really prepped me to give the customer what they want, treat them how they should be. And my motto has always been, we're going to treat the customer how we would want to be treated, treat their home how we would want our home treated. 100%. And it's helped us a lot.
And how long has it been that you established your company? Is that 10 years?
It's been 10 years. Yes.
10 years.
Yep.
Right. Nice, dude. And what is your 5-year scalability? Where you see yourself in 5 years for your company, business-wise?
I do want to get into roofing. I would think that would kind of, set us apart. There's a lot of companies out there that either do like roofing and painting or like roofing and flooring. So by adding the roofing to doing it in-house, a lot of customers rather just make one phone call and just be one person directly, and that everybody is in-house rather than you subcontract them, because obviously they know that they're going to get charged a little bit more. So that would be my goal, to kind of, have the roofing portion. And possibly my lead right now that I have, he's been with me 8 years. I kind of want him to start doing what I do, going out and meet with the customer and everything, and for me to handle just kind of the back scenes, and then have someone that he can have in charge of the groups and things like that.
Very cool, man. Very cool. And do you do any marketing efforts for your business, or just a word of mouth?
It's mainly word of mouth. I use social media. Obviously, I post the jobs that we do and things like that. We work with a lot of realtors. So it's, I have a realtor that I've been pretty much working since day one. They moved out to California, and now they're buying homes here and turn them into Airbnbs. We just finished our second home for them. So it's things like that, that they trust you. They're out of town. They tell me what they want. We get it done. And a lot of our customers just recommend us to another. And we do a lot of work in Aubrey, down 380. There's several communities there, and it's like we're part of every single Facebook page, and they just throw our name out there, and that's how we get a lot of our work.
In our landscape company, we're about to get this big contract, big client, and the VP came in and called me on my phone. I was like, Neander, we had a lot of bozos over here. This is exactly what he said. It's like, what is the difference of your company? How do I make sure I'm not hiring a bozo? You know what I'm saying? And then I answer him, but I want to ask the same questions to you. What is your secret sauce? What is somebody's hiring? Something that sets you apart from millions of other construction companies?
I would say, one, the treatment that we give the customer. Like I mentioned earlier, we treat the house like if it was ours. I tell the guys, if you break something, it could happen. Let me know before the customer finds out, so I can let the customer know, hey, we broke this, apologize. How can we make it right? Do we purchase another one? Do I give you a discount? Things like that. I like to be very transparent with my customers. I've learned that goes a long way. They love that. And like I said, it's just, if you promise something, get it done in a timely manner. If you're not going to be able to done, again, go back, be transparent, be like this and this happened. I think that's what separates us from the rest of the companies, that we're super transparent with what we do.
Transparency, man. Today, in today's world, it's hard to get, right? It's just like you hiring folks, contractors or whatever to your house. It's like, what is the transparency? And that's a big deal, man. That's awesome. Does your wife help you in the business?
She used to. We had twins 3 years ago.
Oh,
So
wow, congratulations.
thank you. So she's been, once we had the twins, she dedicated her time to the kids, but she used to do like our taxes. She used to do our shirts and things like that. So now, twins are a handful. So she's pulled back. She still helps here and there. My daughter's, she's been helping me with social media. Teenagers are a lot better with Facebook and things like that. So sometimes I'm like,
Look,
hey,
talking from an IT guy, you know what I'm saying? He's getting, that's a sign, George, that's a sign you're getting old, bro.
oh, I know. Trust me.
You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be the tech guy.
Just yesterday, I was on TikTok. I was like, I can't get this working. She's like, here, give me your phone. I was like, no. I was like, show me what you're doing. Like, don't take my phone away from me. Like, I want to see.
You gotta do like dancing, installing stuff, TikTok dance. I'm sure you're gonna be very
I haven't been able to convince my guys to do that, man. I've tried. Trust me.
It's a hard one.
Oh yeah.
Italo, when are you gonna do the real grind dance, man? That's what is just taking us for exploding, bro.
I think season 5.
2005, you're gonna do
Season
something?
5, I'll be ready.
You can incorporate the crab dance.
Shit, man. Very cool, George. That's awesome story, man. How you become successful with that and left the. We often talked about folks that turn into investors. Have you ever invested in real estate?
I have. The actual home that we're living in now. I bought it as an investment property, and we had some issues. We had bought some land. We had some issues where we weren't going to be able to build the way we wanted, so we ended up keeping it. And I've worked with many investors, and that's one of the reasons that I kind of bought the first home, because I was like, why am I doing this for someone, when I can do it for myself?
Right. When you have the crew, especially.
Exactly. So we're looking into homes right now. I help a couple buddies, where they buy them, and we have a clause where I get a certain percentage because I'm doing all the work for them,
right,
and things like that. So we can say I'm currently investing with other people, but nothing solely by myself.
Gotcha. And about multifamily investment, have you ever heard about it? You ever thought about it?
I've worked for a couple investors that have apartments and things like that. Those kind of jobs, we tend to stay away a little bit because they're a lot larger. And since I'm not going to lie, the money is in residential for me.
100%. I don't disagree. And I own a construction company, man, and I don't disagree at all.
So that's why, we've done some, but like I said, residentials were the place to be. So that's what keeps us busy.
It's great. But before we go, you want to get to know a little bit more, man. Put you on a spot here. So,
oh boy,
this is going to be spilling the beans with George. All right. New building, new construction, or full flip?
Full flip.
Real Madrid or the Giants?
That's a tough one. I'll say the Giants.
What? You picked the Giants? Okay. This interview is over. I'm just kidding. I don't care about Real Madrid either. So, all right. All you can eat tamales or free elotes for a whole year?
Italo had to do with these, didn't he?
He's out there busting out laughing, dude.
I would have to go with the elotes.
Elotes, bro. Italo, you should have some elotes here for the show, man. Actually, I'm craving right now. All right. Blackberry or Apple?
Apple.
You're right. Guatemala or Texas?
Guatemala.
Let's go. Fix a roof during the summer or broken pipe on outdoors during the winter?
Broken pipe during the winter.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
He hates the roofing, I guess.
I know, you can tell. Well, that was Spilling the Beans with George, man. Let's go, dude. George, that's great, man. Thank you so much for coming here to the show today. We'd love to hear a success story. And if you had to give what advice for the guy who was there in IT who was starting out, man, what would you have to say?
I get that question a lot. People wanting to start a business. And honestly, it's just not to be scared. I think that's what kind of pulls everybody back. Being scared, yes, you might fail, but you won't know what's going to happen unless you give it a try. There's been many friends that, I've helped during the process, people that I met at Blackberry as well that started their business. And I'm like, man, do more, don't give up. And I mean, it's just a matter of not being scared and tackling
Just doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes the limitation is just like in front of us, man, but after you bypass that, it definitely, it's not easy.
Oh, it's not.
It's not easy. And you have to really own it. Some days I want to just fucking quit.
Oh, I've been there.
You know what I'm saying?
I've been there.
But my mission is stronger. My goal is stronger. And that's why it keeps me going. And I hope that, it's for a message for an entrepreneur out there that's starting out to, keep going, man. One more day.
Exactly. Take day by day.
Very good. Brother, thank you so much again for coming. I appreciate you. And I would love to continue more having conversations with you, bro. Get to see what you do. But how can people find about your business?
They can find us on Facebook under VIP Construction DFW, and then Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under the same name.
Yeah, let's go, guys. This is Jorge Veliz. How to pronounce it? Veliz? Jorge Veliz. Let's go. Very good. Thank you so much for watching. This is The Real Grind.
And as always, thank you so much for watching The Real Grind. Are you starting a new business? Do you have a construction company? Tell us what you do right down here in the comments. We want to know a little bit about you. Tell us, share with us. But this episode is sponsored by ELS, Empire Living Solutions. If you buy a whole lot of stuff just like this amazing thoughts in here for your construction, for your multifamily business, anything you want, if you buy wholesale, look no further for high quality, lower prices, amazing quality right here. Look no further, EmpireLivingSolutions.com. Again, if you're watching this episode, thank you so much. If this is your first time watching it, remember, we're in every single podcast platform, Spotify, Apple Music, you name it, we're there. Give us a follow on Instagram. Make sure you're there because that's where we share a whole lot of tips about coffee, tips about real estate. There's so much out there. Don't miss out. Give us a follow. We're right there. And as always, this is The Real Grind. Let's go.
Waking up to success. Now we're getting it started. This is the real grind. Everything you've been wanting, building an empire, no question. Talking about real estate, investing, making the millions, no stopping while we sip on gold